Hello to all movie lovers on the channel. The Film Vault is your personal treasure trove of cinematic masterpieces, television shows, and everything related to the world of film. Will Smith clearly knows how to keep the audience engaged. A few months ago, everyone was discussing his involvement in The Matrix, which turned out to be a music video. Now he's teasing Hancock 2 with Zendaya. Today, we'll discuss why the controversy began and how likely it is that we'll see a sequel to the 2008 hit I Am Legend. We've been waiting for 15 years, but it still hasn't been released. Could Hancock face the same fate? Let's go through everything step by step. Get comfortable, this is going to be interesting. Just the other day, Smith unexpectedly joined a live stream hosted by former Canadian esports player Felix Lengyel. The actor talked about the film industry, upcoming projects, and actively answered fan questions. During the conversation, he revealed that he recently discussed a fantastic idea for a Hancock sequel, and even more notably, that Zendaya has allegedly already been offered one of the lead roles. Naturally, this news stirred up the internet. Many still remember Smith's legendary role as the alcoholic superhero. 20 years ago, this was an original take on the genre with an excellent cast. Although Marvel was still in its infancy at the time, we'd already seen Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, and the first X-Men films. Hancock stood out for its unconventional approach and unique humor. Interestingly, the script for the first film was written back in 1996 under the title Tonight He Comes. At the time, the main character resembled Homelander more than a charming drunk. However, the project caught the attention of director Tony Scott but ended up stuck in development hell for 6 years. During this period, there were attempts to launch production, and the script was rewritten multiple times. It wasn't until 2005 that Peter Berg took over as director, with Will Smith signing a contract to play the grumpy superhero. Even after this, the film faced serious challenges. Initially, the project had an adult age rating, which could have significantly limited its audience and box office potential. Superhero films are traditionally aimed at family audiences, and the producers wanted to minimize risk, especially given the project's budget of $150 million. Today, Deadpool has proven that excessive bloodshed and crude jokes on screen don't prevent a film from earning nearly $1 billion if done with self-awareness. But 20 years ago, this was hard to imagine. As a result, the original Hancock script underwent significant revisions to make the film commercially appealing and secure a teen-friendly rating. While this didn't stop it from winning over audiences, we might have seen a completely different movie. It's worth noting that the film's production process itself was complicated by conflicts between key figures involved in the project. The film crew, led by Smith, constantly clashed with the producers. Their conflicting views on what the main character should be like led to numerous last-minute rewrites of the script. Although Hancock ultimately became a commercial success, its reviews remain average due to plot issues and underdeveloped characters. The final version of the script for the first film was shaped by none other than Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. If Gilligan is involved in the sequel and has proposed a concept for it, there's no doubt the result will be, if not genius, then at least very respectable. By the way, Gilligan recently finished work on a new sci-fi series set to debut soon on Apple Television. The release date remains under wraps, but it's known that filming took place in Albuquerque and wrapped up late last year. The showrunner has revealed that he wrote the script for an as-yet untitled project specifically for actress Rhea Seehorn, who many remember from the Saul Goodman spin-off. The creator himself compares the upcoming sequel to Steven Spielberg's E.T. and promises a truly gripping spectacle. Now that Gilligan is free of obligations, there's a strong chance his next project could be Hancock 2. Overall, the idea of a sequel has been discussed for years, but the project remains stuck in development limbo. The first film, released in 2008, was akin to what The Boys is today, but with a PG-13 rating. It told the story of an unusual superhero, John Hancock, who, despite possessing incredible abilities, struggled with his image and public perception. Despite mixed reviews, the film was a significant commercial success, grossing over $600 million worldwide against a budget of $150 million. Unsurprisingly, talks of a sequel began immediately after the first film's release. Smith has repeatedly expressed interest in returning to the role of Hancock, and screenwriters were even hired to work on the sequel, though Gilligan, busy with Breaking Bad at the time, wasn't involved in writing the script for the follow-up. However, despite initial enthusiasm, Hancock 2 faced a series of challenges, chief among them being the search for a suitable idea for the sequel. The first film ended on a logical note, making it difficult to develop a plot for a continuation. Additionally, Will Smith, being one of Hollywood's most in-demand actors, was tied up with other major projects like Men in Black, Focus, and Suicide Squad, as was Charlize Theron, who was also in high demand. Nevertheless, interest in a Hancock sequel from fans and studios has persisted over the years. The film's unique concept, blending elements of a superhero action movie and comedy, continues to captivate audiences. Many viewers would like to see how the hero's story unfolds further, especially given unresolved questions about his past and future. In recent years, Will Smith has repeatedly mentioned the possibility of returning to the role of Hancock, but has emphasized that a truly strong script is required. The actor is known for his meticulous approach to selecting projects, and he doesn't want to star in a sequel unless it meets high standards. Judging by Smith's latest statement, they finally found an original idea. But what will the sequel be about, and what role will Zendaya play? Peter Berg, director of the original film, confirmed plans for Hancock 2 back in 2012. By then, he already had a first draft of the script, and both Smith and Theron had agreed to return to their roles with, the latter publicly stating she was ready to play Mary at a moment's notice. All that remained was to negotiate with the studio and align the actors' schedules. However, the phenomenal success of Robert Downey Jr. and Jon Favreau's Marvel Cinematic Universe by 2010 derailed plans for the sequel. The Marvel Universe had gained such momentum that the Hancock team felt they couldn't compete with their own vision. They believed they lacked a strong enough fan base, so all work was postponed and the script was shelved. 8 years later, in 2020, Charlize Theron reaffirmed her willingness to return to the sequel, but admitted that the script hadn't progressed beyond the draft stage. She also revealed some details about the sequel. Hancock's heroic antics like tossing robbers' cars onto buildings or derailing trains by crashing into them essentially embody everything Batman despises about Superman, but with a whiskey and bourbon flavor. The second film aimed to expand the story of Smith and Theron's immortal, godlike characters, revealing that they weren't the only ones of their kind still alive. Others simply managed to hide better and live quietly among ordinary people. In one interview, the director of the first film even hinted that we'd see the backstory of the main characters and a new god who would become the primary antagonist, though not until closer to the finale, as this character would share a complex emotional connection with Charlize Theron's character. Naturally, the role was intended for a star actor who could attract additional audience attention. It seems this concept has since evolved, given that one of the lead roles has now been offered to Zendaya. Perhaps the new heroine's connection will now be with Smith, since gods in theory shouldn't age. However, with all due respect, Zendaya seems better suited to play Hancock's daughter. After all, he lost his memory and remembers little of his past. Introducing his child and subsequent attempts to bond with them would be a logical step. Moreover, Zendaya would attract a younger audience to the project, and the theme of parents and children is one Hollywood never tires of. The only unclear aspect is who would serve as the villain in this scenario. Likely, the plot would be expanded with this thread, and a top-tier star would be cast for the role unless Zendaya herself turns out to be the antagonistic daughter, leading to a reconciliatory ending. But these are just theories, so we won't delve into them. In conclusion, Smith's words give hope that we'll see a Hancock sequel someday. The original film was quite good and could at least break even on a wave of nostalgia. However, the same story is currently playing out with I Am Legend 2. We've known for 3 years that the sequel is definitely happening, with Smith and Jordan set to star, but production still hasn't begun due to issues like unsatisfactory scripts, scheduling conflicts, and studio interference. Development hell plagues both of Smith's potential sequels, though the actor himself seems undeterred, so we'll wait for further updates. But the big question remains, does Hancock need a sequel now, or is it destined to fail? What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments and give this video a thumbs up or thumbs down. Subscribe to discover new dimensions of your favorite movies and dive into the fascinating world of cinema with us.